Hey everyone, welcome back to Collecting Nolan. This is Russ, and it's that time of the week again where we look at the top selling eBay sales for Nolan Ryan cards for the week. But before we get started with that, just a reminder, if you guys want to tell me what you've been picking up Nolan Ryan wise, please feel free to email me and tell me a story or whatever, or not, or just tell me the card, and maybe I'll put together a show at the end of the month that talks about what you guys have been picking up. So just wanted to remind you guys of that. But other than that, let's go ahead and get started and look at some Nolans. Honorable mentions. There are two honorable mentions this week. The first honorable mention is the 2005 Upper Deck Signature No-Hitters Nolan Ryan and Bob Feller Dual Auto number 11 out of a possible 25 that sold for $1,000. What a sweet card featuring two dominating power pitchers of their time. Bob Feller had a 266 and 162 win-loss record with a career 3.25 ERA and a 63.4 WAR. He had 2,581 strikeouts. His career was cut short by World War II. Feller was considered one of the hardest throwing pitchers of all time. He was also very generous with his signature. The second honorable mention is the 2024 Panini 3-2 Paul Skeens and Nolan Ryan +1 auto, number 1 out of a possible 5, that sold for $650. Even though this is a sticker auto card, I'm including it because this card is two of the most electrifying pitchers of their time. Paul Skeens is a current phenom who not only possesses the capability of delivering a 100-mile-per-hour fastball, but he has a vast repertoire of pitches with stellar control. If you haven't seen him pitch yet, just search on YouTube for him. And with Nolan, you never know. He could have been walking out for his next no-hitter. 2024 Panini 3-2 is a 100-card set that was distributed in 5-card boxes that had 3 base, parallel, or insert cards, 1 game-used memorabilia card, and 1 encased auto or encased game-used autograph card. Nolan had 4 cards in this set. Number 10 is the 2022 Topps Diamond Icons Dual Relic Book out of 3 featuring Nolan Ryan and Randy Johnson that sold for $1,019.99. 2022 Topps Diamond Icons was released in 10-card boxes that had 1 relic, 7 autographs, and a pair of autograph relics. Nolan Ryan had 13 cards in this set. Number 9 is the 2024 Topps Dynasty number DAP-NR1 game-used patch and auto numbered 5 out of 5 that sold for $1,182. 2024 Topps Dynasty was released in late June of 2025. It was distributed as 1 card per box with each card serial numbered to 10 or fewer. Nolan Ryan had 5 cards in this set, including 3 that were with the Angels and 2 with the Astros. Number 8 is the 1971 O-Pee-Chee number 513 and a PSA 7 that reportedly sold for $1,236.77. I could not verify the sale on 130 Point, but eBay states it sold after 33 bids. The 1971 O-Pee-Chee is definitely one of my favorite cards from the 70s because of its bright, vivid colors and its yellow back. There are only 356 graded copies of this card, and 59 of them are graded as a PSA 7. There are 57 cards graded higher, including 2 known 10s. The last PSA 7 of this card sold last week on eBay for $965.55. Number 7 is the 1991 Upper Deck Heroes Nolan Ryan pack-pulled autograph numbered out of 2,500 with a PSA 10 for the auto that sold for $1,275.34. I know. I always say that this is one of my favorite cards, but I can't help it. This was the chase card for me in 1991. I bought so many packs in 1991 Upper Deck hoping to pull it. I still buy wax boxes hoping to pull it with no luck yet. A PSA 9 version of this card with an authentic auto sold for $1,324 on eBay a couple of weeks ago.
Number 6
is the 1986 Topps number 100 in a PSA Gem Mint 10 that sold for $1,401. There are 118 PSA 10 copies of this card in the PSA database, with 6,054 graded copies in total for a Gem Mint rate of about 2%. The 1986 Topps is one of my favorites from the 80s, but the black border at the top is subject to chipping, making high grades tough to get. Recent sales of a PSA 10 occurred in June of this year for $2,127 on eBay, and in July for $2,500, also on eBay. A Tiffany version of this card sold on eBay last week for an incredible $8,100.
Number 5
is the 1982 Topps number 90 in a Gem Mint PSA 10 that reportedly sold for $1,625. I could not verify the sale on 130 Point, but eBay reports it being sold after 26 bids. There are only 224 PSA 10 copies of this card out there. A previous sale of a PSA 10 occurred earlier this month on eBay for $1,449.98.
Number 4
is the 1977 Topps number 650 in a PSA 9 that sold for $1,699.99. This is a beautiful example of a 77 Topps Nolan. The only issue I see with it is that it's off-center from left to right very slightly. There are 295 PSA 9 copies of this card out there, and only 21 cards grade higher. Previous sales of a PSA 9 have ranged from $1,501 in June of 2025 to $1,851 in July of 2025.
Number 3
is the 1993 Topps Finest Refractor in a PSA 8 that reportedly sold for $3,083. I couldn't verify this sale on 130 Point either, but it was supposedly sold by Probstein after 41 bids. This iconic refractor is a beauty, and there are 53 PSA 8 graded copies of this card. There are 76 cards graded higher, including 8 PSA 10s. There are only 153 of these cards graded in general, and the higher grades account for the majority of this card. Besides the one card grade as authentic, a PSA 6 is the lowest grade in the database. No recent sales of a PSA 8 of this card could be found for comparison. A PSA 7 sold a few weeks ago for $2,264. This is such a beautiful card, and it is definitely on my dream card list.
Number 2
is the 1968 Topps number 177 Jerry Koosman and Nolan Ryan rookie card and a KSA 9 that sold for $10,901.96. It is my understanding that KSA is Canada's equivalent to PSA. This is a sharp card with almost perfect centering and an awesome presentation in general. No recent sales of a KSA 9 Nolan rookie could be found for comparison, and KSA does not offer any pop reports that I could find on their website. A PSA 9 sold in May of 2025 for $73,810 on Golden Auctions in May of this year. SGC 9 copies of the Ryan rookie sold last year for $29,280 on Golden Auctions in October and $49,200 on Heritage Auctions in February of 2024. This may be a cheaper way of obtaining a high-grade rookie. Would you buy a KSA rookie? If so, would you crack and resubmit or just keep it as is?
And finally, number 1
is the 1969 Topps number 533 and a PSA 9 that sold by 4 Sharp Corners for $11,211.11 after 55 bids. There are only 130 PSA 9 grade versions of Nolan's first solo card with only 3 PSA 10s. No recent sales of a PSA 9 could be found. However, the most recent sales occurred in 2024. One sold on Fanatics Collect for $9,000 in April, and another sold in October on Golden Auctions for $9,150. And guys, that wraps it up for this week. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please let me know what you think of the sales for this week and the cards. And thank you for watching, and I appreciate everything you do for my channel, and I'll see you at the next one. Thanks. Bye.